Hi, I'm Pharaoh, and today I'm going to be looking at a new technique for glitch building using ByteBeat switch boxes. This technique is ideal for things spaced at half Lightbox intervals. Let's start off by looking at the two current methods we use Lightboxes for. The simplest method of finding the centre of a floor, for example, is to use an adjacency glitch from a glass floor to a small floor. Position a light floor where that small floor is, adjacency to a light box, position a light box below that and place a box next to it. We then have two choices. The most simple is to use the technique developed by ByteBeat. This uses the adjacency from the noise box to a wire and runs a wire across the top of the two boxes. This creates a wire glitch point, which we can then use to blend a glitch onto. One potential problem with this technique is that wires can create cascade deletions. So alternatively, we could use the Lightbox method I previously developed. In this technique, we draw a wire between the two light boxes, delete those light boxes, and then use that wire to blend a glitch a new light box, which provides us with the same point, but this time on a light box. Light boxes have the benefit that they are less likely to cause cascade deletions. So that brings us to the new technique, which uses ByteBeat switch boxes and has the benefit of only using adjacency glitching. We start in the same way as the noise box technique, placing a wire by adjacency glitching from a noise box to a wire on the top of two adjacent light boxes. We then delete the boxes, and then with the wire selected, we hover over the front wire point and adjacency back to a noise box. We can then place two switch boxes where the two light boxes were. We then draw a wire between these two boxes, delete the boxes, and then with the wire hover over the rear wire. Again, we adjacency to the noise box, and this time we place a switch box towards the front of it. We can then delete the noise box and the wire. Just like my Lightbox technique, this provides us with a glitch point in exactly the same point as the wire, which isn't prone to cascade deleting. It's important to note that it would be less accurate to use the original light boxes to draw the wire, because there's a slight difference between the depth of the light boxes and the switch boxes. To test for cascade deletion, we can use a watertight door. Let's blend a glitcher onto the wire point, and as you can see, if I delete the switch box, the watertight door stays where it is. Using a wire for this would delete it if we were to delete the wire. So far this is all rather redundant. We already have two techniques to achieve the same thing, and now we have a third. The advantage of switch boxes is we can use them to accurately position half a light box to one side of a light box, something that was difficult to do with light boxes on their own. Let's take a look at how we do that. Starting with a light box, I'll mark its position with a light box lower down, out of the way of our glitching. Next I'll use a light floor to turn the light box round to one side. Then I will position a light box behind it and draw a line across the top using the noise box adjacency. After deleting the boxes, with the wire selected, I will hover over the front point and adjacency to a noise box. Then, just as before, we'll place 2 switch boxes below and draw a wire between the 2 connection points. We can then delete all of the boxes, and it leaves us with a wire staggered from the first one. On the front of the new wire, we can perform the same adjacency glitch to a noise box, and then this time we want to replace this noise box with a switch box. Now we want to draw a wire from the front position of the first wire to the new point on the switch box. As you can see, all of the wire points can be confusing, so it's easier to draw the wire from the switch box to the front of the other wire, because the other wire points on the switch box will immediately disappear when you select that wire point. We are now left with a right angle of 2 wires. On the far right wire point, we will again adjacency to a noise box. If I then place a light box below it, and then build a couple more off to the left, we can see that the light boxes are now perfectly positioned such that their edge is exactly where our original wire is. We have now managed to achieve a glitch half a light box to each side. So now we can create brick patterns with light boxes, staggering each row by half of a box. A more advanced technique would be to combine this with my natural curves technique, allowing us to have many more points on our curve in a shorter space. We could create a series of wires that follow a curve 1/2 a light box apart. Then we could blend or glitch small items such as light boxes onto this curve, creating a natural curve of light boxes. Let's take a look at how we would achieve this by continuing the curve I've already started. Just as in my natural curve technique, we'll use the leading edge of the curve, in this case the front wire of the furthest right wire, and drag it across to a ladder. We can choose where the curve goes by choosing which rung of the ladder we want to lead towards. Then, with the wire selected, we can hover over the new turned wire point and adjacency glitch to a noise box. Then we use the light box to light floor adjacency to position a light box turned away from our ladder. Then behind the light box we place a switch box and replace the light box with a switch box. Then draw a wire between the 2 wire points. We use the front of the wire to adjacency to a noise box, and then replace the noise box with a switch box. Then we use the switch box wire point to drag to the front of the previous wire. We glitch a noise box onto the forward facing wire. Then we position a couple of boxes below it, but instead of placing a light box at the half point, we again turn it around, this time so that it faces forwards, and position a light box behind it so that we can draw out a new wire using the noise box to wire adjacency, creating the next wire on our curve. Then we can rinse and repeat, choosing another position on our ladder. So there you have it, the ByteBeat switchbox glitch. Let's just call it the switchbox glitch, which is hard enough to say on its own. A new technique using ByteBeat switchboxes that allows us to not only space things out accurately to half a lightbox, but can also be used for making more granular curves using my natural curves technique. I'm Pharaoh, thanks for watching.